Hey everyone, Frank Menard here from the Menard Team Coaching. Hey, this week's video is all about doing something. You got to do something. So, what's your definite major purpose right now? What are you working on? See, when I ask people, what do you want? And we talk about a definite major purpose, they start thinking of these big, grandiose ideas. You know what? Nothing wrong with that. If you've got some big goals, some big plans, go for it. But oftentimes, it's those intermittent goals that we need to focus on. I've been focused on a goal here recently. Started at the beginning of the year in January. I made a decision to run the Marine Corps Marathon. Right, that's going to be on October 27th this year, 2024. Now, I made a decision. So the first thing you have to do is make a decision. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? So, all right, make the decision. That's the easy part, right? Once you've made a decision, what I find is really, really helpful is, why do you want to do this? What's the purpose? So for me, and I'm going to use my marathon as an example, for me, my purpose is pretty important for me. So it's not about anybody else. It's about me. So first and foremost, October of 2024 is my 50th anniversary of joining the United States Marine Corps. I actually joined in May, but I went to boot camp in October, graduated, and actually earned the title in December of 1974. So I wanted to honor my enlistment as a Marine by running in the Marine Corps Marathon. Full disclosure, I've already run the Marine Corps Marathon 3 times, 1 time unsuccessfully, and I've run 2 other marathons. So I've run 5 marathons successfully. Unfortunately, I had 1 failure. And that's the other reason I'm doing it. Because see, October of this year marks 10 years since my failed marathon attempt. Was that 2014? So 50th anniversary, 10th year anniversary of my failure of completing the marathon. Because in my mind, I can't go out on a failed attempt. So, decision was made. My why was specific. I know exactly why I want to do it. And the next step I took before I did anything else is I started to tell people that I was going to run the Marine Corps Marathon in October of 2024. Now, that's a strategy for me, and it works, because if I tell people that I'm going to do something, most of the people around me know that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. More importantly, in my own mind, if I say I'm going to do it, that gives me an extra push when the going gets tough. And trust me, any goal that you go after, there will be obstacles. The going will get tough. So I suggest share with some of the people that you know and trust. You don't have to tell the world. And I don't mean to tell things in a bragging way. Just tell the world, your community, your friends, your family, what your intention is. What are you going to do? So you set the intention, you let people know. That holds you accountable. And where that really comes into play is the next step. You're going to create your action plan. Now, for me, there's a ton of guides on the internet. I always go to Al Higdon, I believe is his name. I got a great guide for training, for running marathons. It's a good program. And I chose the intermediate level 1, which is, I'm not trying to win the race. I just want to survive the race. All right. I just want to survive and make a successful completion. So I chose a plan of action. And I've got that plan of action, which means every week it tells me each day what I'm supposed to do as far as mileage is concerned and what days I should be taking a rest on. So I put that right on my desktop on my computer, so I see it every morning. I know exactly what I need to do. So I had the plan. Now all I had to do was the most important part, was to actually follow the plan, which means take action. And this works for any type of goal that you're going to set. You make a decision. You figure out what your why is, you create an action plan, and now you have to take action. So many people stop after making the action plan. They realize just how much work there is to be done, and they never take that first step. Or they're trying to make it so perfect that they never make any motion because they're paralyzed by perfection, right? So don't let that happen to you. Create that action plan. Next comes self-discipline. Now, my reputation as a Marine, a lot of people say, well, Frank, you can do all those things because you're disciplined, you're in the Marine Corps. Yeah, okay, that probably has something to do with it. But you know, self-discipline is self-discipline. It's you taking control of yourself. It's actually the first step to creating habits. So when you want to make a change, so for me, I had to go back into a very regimented routine. I had to run every day, not every day, there's a few days off in between, but pretty much 5 to 6 days a week, I'm out there running. And oftentimes when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to be out there running. I live in Southwest Florida. This time of year, I need to be out there like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning before it gets too hot. The self-discipline is getting myself out of bed. The habit is after you've been doing that for several weeks, you wake up automatically. So I don't set an alarm. I automatically wake up around 4:15, 4:30. I give myself about 10 or 15 minutes to share some gratitude, and then I get up. I have a morning routine, and then by 6:15 at the latest, my sneakers are out there on the hard top. I'm out there doing my running. Okay? So self-discipline is the hard part because you have to pull yourself into action. The habit is once you had the self-discipline for so long, usually takes 30 days, maybe 45 days. Once you get into that routine, your body is into the habit. It's going to wake up. Now, oftentimes you still have to have some discipline to put the feet on the floor, but at the end of the day, it's not quite as difficult because your body has already woken you up. So you might as well get up and go do what you plan to do. All right? So create the action plan, turn it into some self-discipline, make some changes. That turns into a habit. Now you're on your way. So let me tell you about this past Sunday. So the last couple of weeks, Sundays are my long runs. So the last couple of weeks, Monday through Friday, day off in between, I'm doing, maybe 5 miles, long run 8 miles. And each week that Sunday run gets a little bit longer. Well, this past week, the goal was 18 miles. Now that will be the longest run that I've run since 2014 when I failed that last marathon, and the longest run that I've had to run so far in my training. There's one more level. I have to hit 20 miles before we move on to the 26, okay? So I got up, and I wasn't too excited about it, but I went for my run. And I ran for 5 miles. Well, that's not completely true. About let me start off at the beginning. Mile 6 was a little rough. From mile 1 to mile 6, I just wasn't getting in sync. Right around mile 10 or 11, I was feeling pretty good. Some reason, at mile 15, my legs were giving out. My feet were giving out. It was sore. It was hard. I noticed that my pace was slowing down. And so at about mile 15 and a half, I had to start walking. I wasn't too excited about that. I wasn't pleased with it. By the way, it was 87, felt like 100 degrees out. So the humidity was pretty high. So I was obviously giving in to some of the environment that I was training in. But here's what went through my head. You can walk, but you can't quit. Never, ever give up. You can walk, but you can't quit. You can crawl, but you can't quit. And that's the mindset that I had. And I made it the full 18 miles. It's one of the slowest paces that I've had so far in my training, but I persisted through. So persistence comes into play here. When you hit those obstacles, when you hit a situation where you're just not sure you can go any further and you just want to give up. I just wanted to give up. But to hit the 18 miles, I had to run an extra lap around a block right around my house. It would have been so easy just to turn in and go into the air conditioning. But no, my mindset was you will complete 18 miles. I persisted through and I did not give up. What I just walked you through is very personal for me, but it's no different for anything that you want to accomplish. You can accomplish anything that you want. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. You have to make a decision. You have to give yourself a reason why you want to do this, a purpose that will drive you through the hard spots. You have to create an action plan. Make sure you know exactly what needs to be done every step of the way. Create the self-discipline to do those actions. Turn that into habit so that it's a daily habit. It's a burning desire. You've got to get this done. Persist through the obstacles. And most importantly, never, ever, ever give up on your goals. That's my video for this week. Yeah, I know it's a little bit long, But here's the thing. You can do whatever you want to do. You get to make decisions of what you want to do in your life. It could be running a marathon. It could be building a prosperous business for yourself, getting out of the employee routine and becoming a business owner. You can do whatever you want. You just have to set your mind to it and never give up. So look, I want you to know that I am a personal development coach. I'm a certified coach, speaker, and trainer with the Napoleon Hill Institute, as well as the John Maxwell team. I am here to help. If you need someone to help you put together a plan, get focused on what it is that you want, please, there'll be a link down below in the remarks to be able to schedule an exploration call with me to find out if it's a good match for us to work together and to see if what I've got to offer is good for you. I'm here to help. Please share this video with anybody who you think might need it. I am very appreciative that you show up every week. Please give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Go get some. Talk to you soon. Bye now.